My beloved child, this is not by chance, and this is not just a message passing by. Hear this in your spirit. Today was set by God for you. Before the sun rose, before you opened your eyes, heaven had already marked this time. Archangel Michael is standing on guard with his sword up and his voice steady. He is giving a warning full of kindness. The fact that you are hearing this now means you have reached a divine intersection. What you do with this message will decide if the doors open or close quietly. Something vital must be shown. Your life has been moving toward a plan you could not see while you were trying to survive, doubting and telling yourself maybe later. God was setting up the right people, things, and times for you. But look closely at this. Alignment does not wait a long time. Archangel Michael is warning you that heaven does not just repeat things for fun. Today is important. Ignoring this message won't make things fair. It leaves loss where there should have been blessing. Look closely now. Things have been following a pattern that makes it look like they get close and then fade. Promises are almost kept. We are almost there with answers and breakthroughs. This isn't because you are wrong. It is because obeying has been put off. Today was meant to be a hint day, a turning point, a single shift in awareness, a single yes in the spirit, and a single choice to stop putting off what God has already confirmed. According to Archangel Michael, do not think this moment is not important. There has been something over your life. A task that has to do with your home, your job, your relations, and your plans for the future. God planned to protect, provide, and make things clear. Attention changes plans, though. When you answer, heaven moves. Archangel Michael warns that if people ignore God's signs over and over, he won't punish them, but will quietly take away the chance. Things that were supposed to go well are starting to need extra work. This message is not meant to scare you. It is meant to wake you up now. You feel a spiritual urgency. Today, you might have been restless for no reason, distracted or emotional in a strange way. That is because your spirit knew what your mind was not ready to understand yet. Your soul was the first to answer when heaven knocked. Archangel Michael is telling you that you need to stop looking through your future and start living it. Look closely at this fact. God does not yell all the time. He is firm when he talks because time is important. Today was marked a long time ago. It is a simple but vital warning. You should not treat this like noise. Don't tell yourself, I'll think about it later. Promises made later are kept with the same grace as promises made now. Right now, God wants you to do a certain thin thing: acknowledgement, agreement, awareness, presence, but not perfection. If you follow the message, the plan will stay in place. The plan does not follow you when you ignore it. Archangel Michael tells us that some blessings depend on when they happen. If you miss the window, the season will be over. But listen to the kindness in this warning. Stay tuned, because the plan has not been erased yet. Heaven wants to hear from you. That is why you were brought here instead of somewhere else. That is why this title caught your interest. This is the reason your heart is beating fast right now. The Archangel's sword, Archangel Michael, is not against you. It has been raised for you, cutting through doubt, delay, and spiritual sleep. What exactly must I do? May be on your mind. Start with this. Pay attention to this. Talk to God right now, not in a casual or fast way. Clearly say, I am listening. There is a response from heaven as soon as you acknowledge it. As soon as you align, protection starts to work. You can still hold on to what was about to fade. But let me be clear. There are more things going on than just words that you are ignoring when you mock, dismiss, or scroll past this message. Divine timing is no longer in your favor. Archangel Michael warns that what God planned to be easy might come back later as trouble or not at all. This isn't stress. There is a due date on this invitation. Pause inside yourself right now. Do not be afraid to feel how serious it is. This is a holy pause, the kind where fates change. The kind where heaven looks down to see what you pick. Archangel Michael is keeping an eye on you right now to make sure that nothing that belongs to you gets stolen if you answer. Watch out. What comes next will show you what today opens up, what was in danger, and how to make sure God's plans come true from now on. Listen carefully now, chosen one, because Archangel Michael wants you to pay more attention. The warning that was given before was not the whole thing. Only the beginning of the scroll was seen. Today has many parts. This is the second layer. God didn't just forget about today. He watched it before the opposition tried to take your focus away. Before there were even any doubts or hesitations. Heaven put watchmen around this very moment. It was the job of Archangel Michael to make sure that you would at least hear the truth. Today, just that alone shows how big this is. I want you to ground yourself in this moment before we go into more detail about what this unlocking means for you. Heaven needs to know that you are there and interested. If you agree with what was said, type Amen in the comments below as a spiritual marker that declares I am awake and I am receiving this, rather than as a formality. Do that right now. It is important to feel the weight of your own words as you type them. This is the first part of your answer. There is something you need to fully grasp. God's timing is not random and it is not always open to change. Every day that God sets aside, He also gives us responsibility. Responsibility to listen, responsibility to respond, and responsibility to act in line. A lot of people think that God will just do again what they missed. But Archangel Michael shows that heaven is organized by seasons, not by cycles of being spoiled. When a season ends, it doesn't leave behind curses, but rather an empty space. There is no longer any ease, favor, or protection that was once given for free. Today was meant to bring back something you thought was gone. Things in your life have been slowly getting worse. Not dramatic, not sudden, just a slow loss of confidence. Confusion about direction and a lack of motivation. You kept telling yourself it was just life, just being tired, or just stressed. But Archangel Michael says the real reason is that you strayed a little from being in alignment. Not rebellion, but waiting. And delay turns into distance when it happens again. That is why God is breaking up your day now. Being far away costs something. Pay attention to this. Today God planned for you to be clear. At that moment, the fog would finally clear and the question, why is this happening, would start to become clear. But to be clear, you need to be still. You will trade clarity for more uncertainty. If you quickly ignore this message or treat it like nothing, Archangel Michael is telling us that heaven doesn't make us understand, it gives it. Today is also linked to a sense of protection. You are not meant to be touched by something, a talk, a situation, or a choice that could have hurt your future if you did it wrong. Today, God set up the inset so that you wouldn't just walk into it without thinking. Ignoring this message won't cause disaster right away, but it will take away an early warning. People often avoid regret in the long run by being warned early on. That is why your attention is more important than you think. Right now Archangel Michael wants you to take part, not just watch. To engage is to agree. Heaven stays involved because of the deal. When you like, comment, share, and take part in what God is doing here, you're not giving a video more views. You are sending a signal. I receive is what you say. I'm here. This is not going away for me. That answer is spiritually important. It keeps the message in place instead of letting it go through you. So, wait a minute. If even a little of this hits home, like the video to show your support and share it with someone who is stuck or unsure, because they may be going through the same thing without realizing it. Say something simple that shows you're aware, because acknowledging someone verbally has power. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. Not for a channel, but because hearing the truth over and over again makes you more spiritually sensitive. Join the group of people who listen for when heaven speaks. It's not about hype. It has to do with alignment. Archangel Michael also tells a private story. You seem to have a habit of putting things off. You often know when something is important, but you put it off, telling yourself you'll deal with it later. You don't realize how much that habit has cost you. Today, God is firm, but not mad. This is the break in the pattern that was meant to happen. You can break the cycle of delay that has been following you for years if you respond now, even if it's just to yourself. Do not get this warning wrong. Right now, God's plan is still in place. It depends on your answer, but nothing has been erased yet. Depending on how humble you are. Heaven is watching to see if you will meet God in the middle, not to judge you. As a witness rather than an executioner, Archangel Michael is present. His job is to keep an eye on what's still available. You might feel resistance rising, that urge to downplay this by saying, "I've heard messages like this before." But that's not logic, that's discomfort. Because deep down, this is too specific to ignore. That's how divine warnings feel. They don't scream. They press you to stay with this moment. There is more to come. And the next revelation tells you exactly what was meant to happen in your life today and what happens when people act in time. Hold on, because what's coming next will give you clarity that many people never get, and you'll want to fully understand it before the end of the day. Please take this with respect, dear soul, as Archangel Michael now tells you what was supposed to happen in your life today. This wasn't just a day to warn people. It was a day for activation. God was going to flip a switch. It was supposed to start a hidden sequence. God doesn't plan days in a vague way. He gives them a purpose. Today they were given the task of aligning everything by acceleration. That's why heaven has stuck with you. That's why this message seems important. It was meant for something strong to come into the scene from somewhere else. Today was a day for restoration of authority. According to Archangel Michael, not power over other people, but power over your own life. Too long, outside events have controlled your feelings, your pace, and your choices. God planned to give you back spiritual power, peace over stress, clarity over confusion, and direction over wandering. It wasn't loud during this repair. There were no fireworks with it. You were able to receive it when you were aware of it and willing to say, "I see this, and I accept it." A lot of people miss it here. God usually fixes things quietly because loud fixes make people proud. Quiet restorations increase discernment. If you were looking for a big sign and didn't pay attention to the small push, you almost missed it. Archangel Michael says yes, though. Since you're still here listening, the activation has still not run out. Heaven is waiting for a yes. Heaven is waiting for you to notice. Heaven is waiting for a deal. There's more to today than just today. Safety through instruction, no. God didn't want to warn you after something happened. You are about to make a choice. You will soon have to make a choice, have a talk, or give a response. Delay happens because of the wrong answer. The right answer builds momentum in order to avoid responding emotionally, impulsively, or fearfully. Today's message was meant to sharpen your discernment. Ignoring this warning won't cost you anything right away, but it will take away your chance to get ready. And preparation is mercy ahead of time, says Archangel Michael. Today was also meant to free you from burdens that you didn't need. Some of the weights you carry were not given to you. You took on the pressure of the guilt you inherited, expectations that you took on board. God had a release planned for today. Not by getting rid of everything on the outside, but by changing what you carry on the inside. When you take God seriously, things change. When you stop thinking of divine nudges as suggestions, your choice, make sure you understand this. Heaven doesn't get angry easily, but heaven does follow patterns. God doesn't argue when messages are ignored over and over again. He changes. He moves opportunities around. He puts off doing his work. Your roots blessings not to punish, but to keep God's order safe. Archangel, it's because God would rather correct you than lose you. that Archangel Michael is warning you. You are on a very thin line right now. On one side, the same cycles happen again with a little more resistance. And on the other, alignment feels lighter, clearer, and more stable. Not hard work, but obedience makes a difference. One happiness, one change inside, and one honest recognition. This is why this moment is so strong. Take this to heart. Many times God warns us. When God sends a person, it means something is important enough for someone to step in. You are not being picked on out of fear. People are choosing to keep you alive. Archangel Michael stands guard, not to scare you, but to make sure you know how important timing is. What was planned for today is still going to happen, but only for those who answer. Now take a moment to think about this. Are you ready to stop putting off what you know God has been asking of you? Are you ready to listen without making any deals? Are you ready to treat today differently, like it's holy? If the activation locks in or quietly passes, a choice is made. It is clear that Archangel Michael is there. That's not what this is about how you stand. This is a posture of respect for divine timing, attention, and humility. If this message makes you feel something deep inside, if you can feel both the weight and the mercy, then take part in the ritual of agreement right now. Sign up for I Receive Divine Timing in the comments. If this speaks to your spirit, the blessing code 7391 was just made public. To my beloved, I hear the Lord say, "Those who help carry my light will never walk in darkness." This message is getting to people at the exact time that heaven planned. And if you obey, you can help it get to the next person who is having a very important day. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, is a way to honor God. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus, it is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Now though, heaven talks about what starts to change once you answer. This is where a lot of people feel like things are changing, but can't explain it. It starts slowly inside and almost quietly, but over time it changes everything. A recalibration starts as soon as you take this warning seriously, even in your heart, says Archangel Michael. Your spiritual senses get stronger. You start to see patterns that you didn't see before. The way we talk feels different. Some choices feel heavy instead of good all of a sudden. This is not a mistake. This is the return of discernment. God wanted you to stop wasting time and energy on things that don't help you. Today was meant to help you get back in touch with what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad. There is a reason why there is a lot of confusion these days. As alignment gets worse, confusion grows. Not because God stops loving, but because following directions needs everyone to work together. Archangel Michael shows that a lot of what seemed like chaos was actually heaven waiting for you to notice it. As soon as you slow down and give thanks to God, clarity comes back. Not all at once, but just enough to move on. Very rarely does God show the whole staircase. He shows you the next step and waits to see if you trust Him enough to take it. Because of this, ignoring this message would have cost a lot. You would have kept moving without any light, calling it effort or endurance when it was really just extra strain. God intended for it to be easy, but only when obedience opens the channel does it flow. Archangel Michael tells people that life doesn't end when they reject divine timing, but it gets heavier than it needs to be. Pay close attention to this part now. There's a change going on in your relations. Some links were meant to be broken, not because they are bad, but because they have reached the end of their use. God planned for today to be the day you stop forcing things that don't work for your future. Who stays behind without conflict and who goes with you into the next season will become clear to you. According to Archangel Michael, it was meant to be peaceful, not painful, to be apart. If they had ignored the warning, they would have lost their clarity, their peace, and their emotional strength. Today was also marked to keep your words safe. You are going to be in a situation soon where what you say is very important. A talk where being honest needs to be paired with wisdom. Silence must be chosen, not out of fear. Archangel Michael was sent to help you be more controlled. God didn't want you to say something hastily, emotionally, or defensively. People often speak too soon when they don't listen to divine warnings, and it takes months to fix the damage that one sentence caused. You were supposed to stay away from that. Heaven also wants you to understand something else. Today wasn't just a random choice made because it was important. It was the right choice because you were finally ready to get it. In the past, warnings would not have hit this hard. You would have ignored them, thought they were wrong, or fought them. Ruth got you ready for weightlessness. Being mature got you ready for the truth. That's why this message seems different from others you've read. It is said by Archangel Michael, readiness is invisible until it is tested. This is also why you might feel a strange mix of peace and seriousness. Seriousness because you know how important it is. Peace, you know deep down that God is on your side and not against you. A message from heaven is never a threat. They are invitations that come with a sense of need. Come closer now before you drift farther than you need to. They say today, pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. It's important what you tell yourself after reading this. You will fight back if you say this is too much. You will line up if you say this is for me. To align, you only need to be willing, not fully understand. Archangel Michael tells us that heaven moves quickly when people stop thinking too much about what God is telling them. Even though hours have passed, there is still time in the day. God's days are not measured by clocks or the time. Even when the sun is going down, heaven will record the moment you respond inside. God doesn't have to follow schedules. People honor him by obeying him. That's why this message got to you at that time, not before or after. Watch now, says Archangel Michael. I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I'm just trying to protect what's about to happen. Once alignment starts, the other side will often try to distract you. You might feel tired, distracted, or like you want to forget this message all of a sudden. That makes sense. It also means that something real has changed. Do not worry yourself into a trance. Just keep an eye on things. The next part will tell you what you shouldn't do in the next few hours and days. Doing things that don't seem bad, but quietly destroy what God just fixed. This is very important to understand because a lot of people get aligned and then undo it by being impatient. Pay close attention. This next insight could mean the difference between a long-lasting breakthrough and a short-term understanding. Archangel, my beloved soul, Archangel Michael is very clear because what you do next is just as important as what you know now. It's time to align. People are now aware again. But it's very clear in heaven, after receiving a divine warning, there are some things that should not be done. Many people lose what was given to them back not because they rebel, but because they can't wait. That's why this part is so important. Archangel Michael says that the enemy's first move after God resets a life is to rush without instructions. They feel a sudden need to act quickly, so they decide to speak before things become clear. This is where people hurt themselves without meaning to. God's timing is planned, not hurried. Heaven moves in a planned way. If the pressure feels crazy, tense, or emotional, it's not divine acceleration. It takes attention away. You need to be more careful. Even if your mind is busy, you were about to do something, reach out, answer, confront, explain, or make a promise that needs to be held back for now. Not cancellation, but when. When led by wisdom, silence is not avoidance, says Archangel Michael. It keeps you safe. God wants to keep you from putting yourself out there without a reason, from telling people your plans too soon, and from sharing your thoughts with people who aren't supposed to hold them. Now more than ever, this is important. Clear thinking often makes people eager to move when alignment comes back. But being eager without being taught can lead to mistakes. Archangel Michael tells people that they need to discipline their excitement. If you honor what God has already told you, He will speak to you again. Going too fast shows that you heard but didn't trust what they said. There is also a warning about going back to old stories. There's a chance that your mind will try to drag you back to painful memories of failed attempts to fix past problems. This is a sneaky Sabbath. God gave you power again so that you would stop living by memory and start living by instruction. Archangel Michael says that the past is no longer the guide. It will take away from what God is doing now. If you keep looking at it, take some time to think about this. You don't have to pay attention to every familiar thought. Managing your emotions is another important lesson. You might feel more sensitive in the next few hours. Small irritations, feelings that come out of the blue, and a heavy feeling that comes and goes. This is not going backwards. It's time for change. The soul changes when spiritual alignment does. Archangel Michael tells you not to take short-term feelings as long-term signs. Do not decide anything while your emotions are still adjusting. This is where waiting turns into obeying. God is also telling you not to look for approval from other people too quickly. You might want to tell someone who won't get it what this message means. That you should not get confirmation from people who are not spiritually in line with you. Urge comes from not knowing enough, not being smart. When God speaks clearly, confirmation comes naturally. According to Archangel Michael, there's no need to push it. This morning, tea was put down. Today, God wants to build quiet confidence in you. Trust that doesn't argue. Self-confidence that doesn't come out. Self-assurance that just knows. That kind of trust comes from keeping divine instruction to yourself until God gives you permission to share it with others. A lot of blessings aren't received right away because they are told to the wrong people too soon. Another important warning has to do with too much correction. When someone wakes up, some people go too far in the opposite direction. They try to fix everything at the same time. They talk to everyone. Everything changes in an instant. Archangel Michael says that's not change, that's how you react. God's changes happen slowly, not all at once. Step by step, sustainable alignment takes shape. You're not behind. You're not behind schedule. You are exactly where you need to be to make smart decisions. Right now, restraint means speeding up later. Really understand this. God is watching how you handle being still. Trust can be seen in stillness. Heaven moves ahead of you when you don't rush. God works while you wait. Archangel Michael confirms that changes are being made for you that you can't see. Even now, conversations are coming together, resistance is weakening, and quiet paths are opening up. But these changes are affected by interference. If you try to force results, you stop the flow. You lose discernment when you're scared. Having doubts makes you less sure of yourself. These don't kill you, but they slow you down. This warning will keep you steady while heaven works because of this. There is also the setting of a relational boundary here. Someone may contact you out of the blue, or you may feel compelled to get back in touch with an old friend. It was said by Archangel Michael that not all reconnections are restorations. As the saying goes, discernment will show you the difference. If there is no peace, take a moment to think. If things aren't clear, wait. When two people get back together, God doesn't rush the process. Lastly, stick to this reassurance. You won't lose anything. There is no good being held back. It's not about loss this season. It is about keeping things alive. God is watching over what He has planned for you to make sure it doesn't get messed up by feeling rushed, distracted, or angry. The process is guarded by Archangel Michael, who makes sure that what starts in alignment ends in wisdom. The next part will show you how to spot the first real sign that this warning has changed your life. There is something subtle but clear. You will know that heaven is involved when you see it. Once more, pay attention. What happens next backs up everything you just heard. Picked. Okay. Archangel Michael tells you how you'll know this warning has been heeded. Because evidence from heaven always proves alignment. God doesn't leave His kids guessing all the time. The confirmation won't come as a loud shout, but as a shift that you can't miss if you pay attention. Stability inside is the first sign. Things that used to make you anxious will now seem manageable. Changes in your reactions and thoughts will happen, not because of changes in the situation, but because of changes in you. This is the return of inner authority, says Archangel Michael. When God takes charge again, chaos gets quieter. Even though you may still have problems, they won't be as important to you emotionally. Being this calm is not a sign of weakness. That's what spiritual positioning is. Through time, another sign will show up. The delays that made you angry will start to make sense. You may now understand that what you wanted earlier would have been bad for you if it had come true. God is changing the way you see time. Archangel Michael says that part of today's task was to stop being angry about having to wait. It is safe to speed up when waiting turns into trust. You might also notice that some things that used to be fun become less appealing. Things you used to do to get away from thinking too much, scrolling pointlessly, or having unhealthy conversations will feel empty. This isn't being bored. This is called detachment. Heaven is letting go of what needs to go so that you can handle what's coming. You'll feel restless if you try to fight this detachment. You will feel better if you accept it. Watch how much you sleep. A lot of people say they can rest better after alignment. The reason for this is that spiritual vigilance wears you out, even if nothing changes. When not lined up right, Archangel Michael shows that God brings back rest when power is returned. It's not a coincidence if your sleep starts to get better. It proves something. There is also a sign outside that you should look out for. Someone may say something that confirms what you already know to be true. Not a prophecy, not a compliment, but confirmation. It could happen without them realizing how serious it is. Wait until it's over before you react. Just write it down. God tells us in a quiet voice to stay humble and not be proud. Listen to this. Hearing the truth over and over again makes it easier to spot confirmation. That's why I want you to subscribe right now if you haven't already. When you subscribe, you do more than just watch what a channel posts. In this way, you are setting yourself up for a steady flow of prophetic instruction. You are putting yourself in line with the words that heaven keeps sending you. Sign up now to make sure you never miss the messages God has planned for your future. Finally, hear this. Well, as soon as confirmation starts, responsibility grows. You don't just align things once. It's a way to stand. This is why participation is important. Alignment is strengthened when you take part by liking, commenting, sharing, and supporting things that make you feel good. It's not just about algorithms. It has to do with agreeing. You say, I am awake. When you talk to someone, it's getting my attention. Take a moment now if this message has been helping you to show that you agree. Click like on this video. Tell someone who is spiritually uneasy about it, because they may be on their own day. Say something honest from the bottom of your heart, even if it's something simple. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. Not because they have to, but because they don't want to. Remember things that keep you spiritually awake by staying in touch with them. If there is a way to become a member, know that more commitment usually leads to more consistency. This is how you keep what was fixed safe. This is also where Archangel Michael warns us. Do not use big changes to judge confirmation. At first, God's most lasting work seems subtle. People who want things to change right away often miss the slow strengthening that leads to long-term stability. You're not being pushed into something exciting. You are being rooted in something that will last. There may be times when doubt comes back, like when I wonder if this is really for me or if I'm just making it up. This is fine. After clarity, doubt often comes back. Archangel Michael asserts that uncertainty is not the same as failing. It checks how much you trust them. Don't argue with it. Just go back to being still. Truth doesn't need to be defended in order to stay true. Easier boundaries are another sign that things are getting right. You won't feel as guilty saying no. You won't have to explain yourself as much, and staying away from what bothers you will be easier. This is God making your discernment stronger. Things that used to take work will soon feel natural. It shows that internal authority has been restored. Pay attention in the next few days. Heaven is moving things around you that you can't see. The chances are changing. There are new uses for delays. There is protection. Now is not the time to be careless or distracted. Now is the time to stay briefly alert. Archangel Michael stresses gentleness because fear blocks discernment and makes it stronger. Hold on to this reminder before things get worse. This day was chosen by God because you could respond. If He didn't trust you to handle the responsibility that comes after, He wouldn't have told you. You are not supposed to fail. You have been given the job of aligning. Do not stop this process. What comes next shows us how to join God in what He's doing so that momentum doesn't fade. If you want to know what the difference is between people who stay in alignment and those who slowly fall back into confusion, listen to this next part. Archangel. My love, Archangel Michael talks about working together because alignment that isn't kept up slowly fades into memory. A lot of people get clarity, feel peace for a moment, and then wonder why the confusion came back weeks later. It's not because God pulled away, because stewardship is necessary for alignment. When God fixes something, He wants it to be respected. What heaven starts, people must protect. Archangel Michael shows that working with God doesn't have to be done all the time. It means being aware of what makes you stronger, what makes you weak, and the subtle changes in your spirit all the time. One big mistake doesn't cause most people to lose their alignment. It's the little things they forget to do. They stop paying attention. They no longer pause. The plane goes back to autopilot. That's when discernment is at its weakest. When you're on autopilot, this season calls for deliberate living. Rhythm is one of the main ways that alignment is kept up. God works through rhythm, rest, thought, action, and quiet. Rhythm breaks down when life gets out of hand. God is asking you to slow down inside according to Archangel Michael. Even if your duties to other people stay the same. Heaven can lead people who are slow of spirit. Being in a hurry gets in the way of learning. You need to learn how to check in with yourself. Not too much or too little, but honestly just ask basic things. Am I calm now? Am I making you do something? Should I be responding or reacting? It's not a psychological tool to ask these questions. They are places of spiritual checkpoints. If you ask them honestly, God will answer with either worry or peace. Archangel Michael agrees that peace is the most important sign of alignment. Something is off when peace leaves. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's not in the right place. Speaking slowly is another important part of working together. Words tell you what to do. When carelessly spoken, they change the energy. You might want to complain, explain, or vent about things. God is already making changes. Archangel Michael warns that talking too much during a divine movement slows things down. Not because God is weak, but because words show how much trust there is. If you choose silence wisely, it shows that you trust God's plan. So right now, while everything is quiet, I want you to say that you trust me. In the comments, type these words, "I trust your timing, Lord." That should be more than a comment. Make it a promise to God. Another promise is that you won't rush things and that you won't speak out of fear. Instead, you will wait for His instructions. Write it now and really mean it. This statement seals your agreement to work together. This doesn't mean being alone. Using discernment in speech is what it means. Share with people you're supposed to help, not with people who question everything that is holy. Some listen to understand, while others listen to judge. This time of year, you need fewer judges and more intercessors. It doesn't matter if that circle gets smaller. Another guardian of the truth, Archangel Michael, tells us this. Testing is drawn to alignment. If you let punishment testing happen, chances will come up that look familiar but feel a little off. With new packaging, old patterns may show up again. This is not a fail, it's proof that there has been growth. Only when a promotion is coming up do deaths happen. God is checking to see if you will make a different choice. Now that you know more, pick something else. You don't have to show anyone proof of growth. All you have to do is honor it. If something makes you pee, it makes you pee too much. If something needs to be given up, it's not from God. Lyman makes choices easier. If something is right, it brings peace, even if it brings trouble. If something is wrong, it brings confusion, even if it brings comfort. Also pay attention to your body. Archangel Michael says that the body acts before the mind can understand. Feelings of tightness, heaviness, or exhaustion for no reason can be signs. You are a whole person that God made. Ignoring your body's signals can lead to spiritual burnout. When you align, you bring sustainability, not depletion. This is the middle of the message. Think of someone who could use this word. Someone who doesn't know why they are stuck, confused, or drifting. When you share this video, you're not just giving it to other people. You are letting the anointing go. It's possible for someone else to make a breakthrough through you. Heaven knows right away that you obeyed when you shared. Share this video right now to make breakthrough happen for your network. Let them wake up through your obedience. Something isn't right. If you feel tired all the time, pruning is another activity that is popular right now. You don't really lose everything. Some things go away because they don't fit with the person you're becoming. Don't go after what leaves. Don't be sad about what goes away on its own. Archangel Michael shows that holding on to what God takes away slows down what God sends next. Believe in the pruning. It makes room for growth you can't even imagine yet. Being grateful is another quiet but powerful practice. Being grateful keeps things in balance. Being grateful without being forced is what I mean. Thank God for being clear. Thanks be to God for moderation. God bless you for the safety you didn't see. Being thankful keeps your heart and spirit open. Where there is gratitude, there is no room for anger. It's not survival training right now. It's stewardship training. For what God wants to give you next, you need to be mature, not quick. Because of this season seems less busy than usual. Seasons of peace make roots stronger. Fruit is shown during loud seasons. Archangel Michael tells you that fruit will come, but first the roots need to grow deeper. Do not look at other people's pay and judge it. Comparison is the thing that throws you off more quickly than almost anything else, because everyone has a different job. Their schedules are all different. God is not behind schedule. He is exact. It seems slow to people who are impatient, but it feels perfect to people who trust it. Hold on tight. When you start to doubt, come back to being still. When things get tough, go back to peace. When confusion comes up, bring yourself back to the present. Alignment isn't very exciting. It stays the same. It's not flashy, it stays true. What comes next is very important, because Archangel Michael will show you how this alignment affects your stability and provision in the future. A lot of people get this part wrong and either fear lack or rush into abundance too soon. The next message will bring balance, which you will need to move forward wisely. Archangel, my love. A lot of people are secretly struggling with provision and stability, which is why Archangel Michael talks about them. People hear warnings, alignment, and orders, but deep down they think, what about my safety? What will happen to me? What do I need? Heaven is aware of these inquiries. Today was also meant to change the way you think about provision. Archangel Michael tells you that God's plan for you was never based on your survival. It had to do with sustainability. Being reactive is a part of survival. Being sustainable makes you smart. There was always pressure on you, but God had a plan to move you to stable ground. That's why alignment with the required first provision without alignment makes people nervous. Peace is created by provision with alignment. Pay attention to this. Folks who don't pay attention to divine timing often go after provision before it's time. They jump at chances that look good but have hidden costs. What God did was keep you safe from that. This message was meant to keep you from pursuing short-term gains that will make you less stable in the long run. This is what Archangel Michael says. Some of the doors you wanted were not blessings. They were burdens that looked like breakthroughs. This season is all about clean food, making sure that doesn't keep you up at night, provision that doesn't go against your values, something that doesn't force you to change who you are. God planned for you to be set up in a way that is calm, not crazy, but provision for calm only flows when trust is back. That's why we had to deal with fear first. Some kind of money or material worry has been bothering you for a while now. Some of the things you do are affected by it, but you don't talk about it much. God has not forgotten about this issue according to Archangel Michael. He has been waiting for alignment so that he can deal with it without hurting anyone. When fear drives choices, provision isn't stable. Provision is consistent when trust guides decisions. Do not mix up speed and blessing. God is not in a hurry for you to be stable. He's getting it stable. Anchoring stays in place. The right provision falls apart. These were some delays that were kind. You were being kept from making deals that would have worn you down later. Archangel Michael says that heaven blocked some paths not to make you angry, but to keep your peace in the future. Another truth needs to come out. Provision is linked to obedience, not just effort. Work is important, but obedience guides work in the right direction. A lot of people work hard in the wrong direction and don't understand why progress feels slow. God planned to reroute your work so that it eventually multiplies instead of just staying the same. Getting aligned is what turns effort into growth. Soon you might notice that your thoughts are more clear. Things don't feel as pushed. Chances come up that fit naturally with who you are. It's not luck. It's the return of order. Now is a very important time for your faith to speak up. What should you write in the comments? I receive divine provision, when God will give you what He wants. Not because you are asking for it. He will give you what He already has planned. Let go of any fear of not having enough as you type it. This comment should be the sound of your trust, beating your worry. Do it right now, and you'll feel heaven lean in to honor your faith. Provision goes more smoothly when order comes back. Archangel Michael wants you to know that you are not behind on money or other things. You're just being moved around. This shifting also changes how generous people are. When people are less afraid, they are more generous, not just with money, but also with their spirit. God is getting you ready to be a channel, not a container. Eventually, containers will overflow and can't be stopped. Flow can happen through conduits without any pressure. That's why your heart is getting better right now. It's best for provision to flow through clear channels. Pay attention to one thing. Do not make vows based on fear. You can't move forward when you say things like, "I'll never trust again," or I'll always struggle for subtle agreements. Archangel Michael warns that words spoken out of fear can make provision take longer. Be careful when you talk this season. Even if things are still changing, let your words show that you trust them. Also, let your actions show that you trust them. More than just a feature, the like button on this video, there is a chance. When you press it, you bring God's blessings into your life. You are saying, I believe heaven is watching and I welcome divine assistance. When faith is shown, good things happen. Right now, show your faith by giving this video a like. Let that one click open channels you can't see. Right now is a holy time. If this message about provision and stability hits you hard, it's because heaven is answering a question you've had for a long time. This is not a mistake. This is Devon, an eternal Greek language. Now it's time to take part in the ritual of confirmation. If this feels right to your spirit, type I receive divine provision in the comments. You can now use blessing code 8642. Dear one, as an archangel, it sounds like the Lord is telling Archangel Michael, those who help carry my voice will never lack what they need. This message feeds souls that are at a very important crossroads, and your obedience keeps the river going. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus's plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Archangel Michael now wants you to think about the way you will go in the future, because alignment and provision don't mean anything if the direction isn't clear. When people feel stable, they often lose their momentum because they think the next steps will be clear. But God doesn't always lead all at once. Sometimes He leads slowly. This is where you need to keep using your discernment. Your future will not look like a sudden jump, says Archangel Michael. Instead, it will be a steady unfolding. You might have been looking for a big change, a sharp turn, or a clear sign that pointed in one direction. Instead of a sprint, God wants you to take a walk. Paying attention is needed when walking. Adrenaline is needed for sprinting. Even likes being paid attention to. It's important to understand this. When God starts to lead someone out of confusion, He doesn't usually give them too much information at once. It's hard to handle too much clarity at once. Too little makes things uncertain. God gives us exactly what we need to move on to the next step, and then watches to see how we handle it to punish you. Your future is not kept from you. It is slowly revealed as a defense. You might notice that the things you want are changing. Things you used to really want may now seem like they're not necessary. You might start to be interested in things you never thought about before. This is not a lack of choice. We call it refinement. Archangel Michael says, God is reshaping your appetite so your future aligns with your capacity, not just your ambition. Desire that is not refined often leads people into paths they are not prepared to sustain. Another key truth is this: your future will require discernment more than bravery. You do not need to be fearless. You need to be attentive. Many mistakes happen not because people are afraid, but because they are distracted. Distraction dulls discernment. That is why this season feels quieter than expected. God is reducing noise so guidance becomes clearer. Be careful not to confuse quiet with stagnation. Quiet seasons are often preparation seasons. They strengthen discernment, patience, and self-awareness. Archangel Michael says, the future God planned for you requires maturity more than urgency. Maturity is waiting to be taught. Urgency moves without it. There is also a relational aspect to your future path. New connections will enter slowly, not all at once. These relations will feel calm, not consuming, familiar, not intense. God is removing drama from your future. If something demands emotional chaos to sustain itself, it is not part of what heaven is building. Archangel Michael warns that intensity is not the same as destiny. Pay attention to invitations. Not every invitation is an assignment. Some are distractions disguised as opportunity. God will guide you through peace, not pressure. If something feels forced or fear-driven thought, heaven does not push, it leads. When something is right, it aligns naturally with who you are becoming. Another important revelation is about self-trust. God is restoring your ability to trust your discernment. For a long time, you may have doubted your instincts because of past mistakes. Archangel Michael says those mistakes were lessons, not disqualifications. Your discernment is sharper now because you learned through experience. God trusts you more than you trust yourself. At times, this restoration of self-trust is crucial. Without it, you will constantly seek permission from others, second-guess yourself, or delay decisions unnecessarily. God is teaching you to listen inwardly, not impulsively but prayerfully, not emotionally but attentively. When peace accompanies a decision, it is often confirmation. Your future path also includes boundaries. You will not have access to everyone you once did. This is not isolation, it is focus. Focus protects direction. Archangel Michael reveals that God is narrowing your field of influence, so your energy is not scattered. Scattered energy produces scattered results. Do not resist this narrowing. It is how God increases impact without increasing exhaustion. Fewer commitments, clearer priorities, stronger outcomes. This is divine efficiency, not loss. There may be moments when nostalgia tries to pull you backward. Memories, old dreams, unfinished stories. Archangel Michael says, nostalgia can be comforting, but it is not directional. You can learn from the past, but it shouldn't guide you. God's direction always points you forward, even when it remembers where you came from. Believe in the speed to feel safe about your future. It doesn't have to come right away. It has to get there in the right order. Order leads to long-term success. Peace comes from sustainability. Peace makes alignment clear. As you move forward, don't worry. Just pay attention. You have nothing to fear from God. He is taking things one step at a time so that your spirit can keep up. Come back to awareness. When impatience whispers, when you start to doubt, come back to being still. Use discernment when you feel excited. Archangel Michael is now watching over your path to make sure that what happens is safe, clear, and on time. There are other people with you. You are being carefully led. What comes next is very important because it deals with how to keep this future from slowly falling apart. A lot of people start out well but give up, get distracted, or don't do what they need to do. Next, God shows us how to protect what He is building, so it lasts. Stay in the present. What comes next might be the most useful advice in this whole message. Beloved one, Archangel Michael is now giving you a safety message. Futures aren't usually ruined by one big event. Instead, they're slowly destroyed by small compromises that don't seem like a big deal at the time. Heaven will talk about this now. So do what God has told you to do, and you won't be sorry. Archangel Michael says that distraction is often the first sign of erosion. Not clear distractions, but small changes in how you're thinking. You stop pausing. You stop thinking about it. You no longer talk to your spirit. Things get busy. It gets harder to be aware as responsibilities grow. Even though nothing seems wrong, the peace is slowly fading. This is how things get out of line, not by rebelling, but by not caring enough. This is why you need to plan to protect your future. God isn't telling you to be careful or afraid in your daily life. He wants you to live a conscious life. Living a conscious life keeps discernment alive. When you use your discernment, compromise is easy to see instead of appealing. The goal is not perfection, but attention. According to Archangel Michael, Emotional exhaustion is one of the most frequent dangers to spiritual momentum. When people are tired, they don't hold themselves as high. They don't mind what they used to avoid. They say yes when they should take a moment to think. God doesn't judge people who are tired, but He does tell them not to make decisions when they are tired. This is why resting is still a way to obey. Rest gives you a fresh view. Perspective keeps direction clear. Too much exposure is another way that erosion can happen. There are too many thoughts, voices, and Archangel Michael warns that too much information makes people less spiritually sensitive. Not all information is bad for you, but too much noise makes it hard to hear the directions, so speak quietly. You will miss subtleties if it is loud where you are. If you can, make things easier. Not pulling away from life is not what this means. That you should pick quality over quantity, depth over breadth, and presence over performance. There needs to be room to hear God's guidance. Another risk is giving up on your values in small ways. Not many big decisions are made at the start. The first step is to explain why. Just one time. It's not really that bad. It's something everyone does. Archangel Michael says that giving reasons is often the first thing that people do to get out of alignment. God makes things clear again, so you don't have to bargain with your conscience. Take care of what you know. Watching your time is also important for your future. People don't just have time, it's an empty space. What you put inside it determines where you go. Being picky is what God is teaching you, not being busy. People who are busy feel like they are getting things done, but they often don't move forward. People who are focused keep moving forward. Pay attention to what drains you over and over. If something consistently drains you, makes you feel confused, or makes you uneasy, you should think about it again. That doesn't mean it's bad. It might just be out of place. Archangel Michael wants you to remember that not all bad things look bad at first. It's polite to ask for some things. This is very important as you watch over what God is building. Being involved makes alignment stronger. By doing things that feed your spirit, you strengthen your sense of direction. Because of this, agreeing that taking a moment to like this video is important. Sharing it is important because someone else might be drifting today and needs this warning. Commenting is important because voicing appreciation grounds awareness. Consistency protects discernment, so subscribing is important. Keeping in touch keeps you ready for when heaven speaks. This is how you stay aligned in a world full of distractions. Archangel Michael also tells you that God has plans for your future that include having power. Not always public, but important. Honesty is needed to have influence. Integrity is kept up by the choices you make every day, not just sometimes. Small skills keep big callings safe. Another sneaky threat is being too familiar. When you see messages like this a lot, they don't seem as important. Some people think they know what to do. Being familiar makes you lazy. Archangel Michael tells you not to let comfort take the place of paying attention. Every season calls for new awareness, no matter how the rules stay the same. Be willing to learn. Being able to teach keeps growth going. People don't move forward when they stop learning. God is still teaching you things. He is about to start a new phase. To get to the next step, you have to be humble in each one. There will be times when it feels lonely to guard your future. Not because you are by yourself, but because fewer people will understand why you are being so calm. Some may move faster, make more noise, or be flashier. Don't let how you look affect your decisions. Quiet obedience lasts longer than loud momentum. What God builds slowly cannot be easily shaken. The Archangel Michael assures you. Now, keep this truth close. Your future is not in danger. It is kept safe. But protection works best when everyone works together. Being aware is your shield. Use your senses to help you. Peace is a sign of your approval. Stay with me for a little while longer before we move on. The next revelation finishes the warning and shows what happens when people fully honor a holy day like this. You will want to hear it because it ties everything together and tells you how to obey in the long run. Now, beloved, Archangel Michael speaks with a sense of completion in mind, because every divine warning ends with a promise. God doesn't skip over people's lives just to teach them a lesson. He stops to keep things going. What you're going through now isn't just advice for today. It's also getting you ready for what will happen after you obey in the future. This part tells you what starts to happen in your life when you fully honor a divine day. Archangel Michael tells people that stability becomes their new normal when they listen to good advice like this. It's not perfection or ease without work. It's steadiness, emotional steadiness, spiritual steadiness, and steadiness in making decisions. The inner chaos that used to make life seem unpredictable starts to calm down. Not because problems go away, but because power is back in the hands of the people. Reactions become less harsh when authority comes back. You start to notice that life doesn't feel like an emergency all the time. Urgency makes it less clear. The pressure drops. It's not overwhelming. Even when there are problems to solve, this is a very clear sign that obedience has taken hold. God planned for you to be stable a long time ago, but you had to be in the right place for it to work. Archangel Michael agrees that a lot of people don't have this steadiness because they don't stop long enough to learn. Honoring today also leads to clarity and identity. When you stop asking yourself, "Who am I supposed to be?" you start seeing who you already are. This change is quiet but strong. It takes away fear. It stops comparing. It keeps confidence steady. Self-assurance that doesn't need praise. Confidence that doesn't fall apart when someone criticizes you. Confidence that comes from being in line with something instead of being approved of. This clarity about who you are affects everything. It gets easier for you to choose. Your limits are stronger. You are in fact more deliberate. You're not calm anymore. There's no longer a need for you to explain yourself too much because God seals identities through obedience. Archangel Michael explains, confusion is less likely to happen when identity is sealed. To seal what has begun today, I invite you to subscribe. It's not about missing videos when you subscribe. It has to do with staying connected. It's about telling heaven, I'm staying under this covering. I'm staying in line with prophetic truth. No matter who subscribes, they have agreed to learn more. To activate the prophetic promise over your life, click the subscribe button right now. Let this be the moment when your yes stays yes. There is also protection that lasts for a long time. People who trust in divine timing don't take as many detours as other people do. This isn't because they are smarter, but because they are paying attention. Archangel Michael tells you that when you look back in years to come, you'll be amazed at how much you were able to avoid problems because you listened today. Things like relations that didn't hurt you and choices you never felt bad about will be gone. We can see quiet mercy at work here. As a result, spiritual sensitivity grows instead of decreasing. A lot of people worry that awareness will fade over time. In fact, awareness fades over time when it is ignored. It gets sharper when it is honored. You'll be able to pick up on inner prompts more quickly. Before long, you'll know when to stop. The misalignment will be caught sooner. This stops damage before it starts. There was a plan for you to live by, not by reacting to things that happen. Your prayer life changes too. Prayer stops being long explanations and starts being a talk. It stops being desperate and turns into a conversation. It changes from fear to trust. Archangel Michael says, this shows that you are growing up. Faith that is grown up doesn't shout all the time. It listens all the time. Another thing that might change is how you think about delays. Delays will no longer always be a bad thing. There are times when you'll feel safe in them. At times, redirection. When resentment starts to grow, preparation and discernment are necessary. When there is no anger, joy is still possible even when things are uncertain. One more strong result is resilience. Instability is not the same thing as resilience. It leads to spiritual flexibility. You bend but don't break. You make changes without going off track. You keep going without getting angry. Archangel Michael confirms that obedience makes you stronger because it aligns you with truth instead of circumstance. This also changes how other people see you. Not by performance, but by being there. People may start to trust you more, pay more attention, and feel better when they're with you. That's not something you make up. It comes out naturally when inner alignment is stable. God often uses people who are aligned to hold other people up, even when they don't say a word. Influence grows slowly, and you might not notice it right away. One more result is less fear of the future. Not because they know everything, but because they trust each other. Fear goes away as trust grows. Archangel Michael says, fear thrives in uncertainty, but trust thrives in alignment. You will still care about the future, but it will no longer dominate your thoughts. There is also a strengthening of patience. Patience not as waiting without hope, but waiting with confidence. Confidence that God is active even when you are still. This kind of patience protects peace. It prevents impulsive decisions. It preserves momentum. Now hear this carefully. None of these outcomes are instant at first. They build up like layers forming stability. People who expect instant transformation often miss the deeper work God is doing beneath the surface. But over time, the difference becomes undeniable. You will feel more grounded, more centered, more present. This is what happens when a divine warning is honored rather than ignored. Life will not become perfect, but it becomes ordered. And order is where peace lives. Archangel Michael affirms that you have done the most important part already. You listened, you stayed, you did not dismiss, and you preserved much more than you realize. And now remain attentive just a little longer. The final revelation brings closure, blessing, and confirmation. It explains what heaven releases when obedience is completed, and how this day will be remembered in your life moving forward. Stay present. What comes next seals everything. My beloved child, now Archangel Michael speaks the final word over this appointed day. Because heaven never closes a warning without releasing a seal. What began as urgency now becomes assurance. What began as correction now becomes confirmation. This day will not fade into memory. It will be remembered in your spirit as a turning point, whether you fully realize it now or only understand it later. Archangel Michael reveals that when a divine day is honored from beginning to end, God does something profound. He locks in protection, not temporary protection, but sustained covering. Covering over decisions, covering over timing, covering over paths you have not yet walked. This does not mean life will be without challenge, but it does mean challenges will no longer have unchecked access to you. You did not just listen to a message, you responded to timing. Heaven marks responses, not intentions. Many intend to change, intend to listen, intend to obey. But response is what moves spiritual records. Today, your response shifted your spiritual position. Archangel Michael confirms that what was at risk has now been preserved. What was fragile has been strengthened. What was vulnerable has been guarded. This is why peace feels deeper now. Not excitement, not adrenaline, peace. Peace is heaven's signature when alignment is complete. It is the quiet knowing that something settled correctly. Even if nothing dramatic happens externally today, internally something has been sealed, and sealed things do not leak away easily. This day also resets your relationship with timing. You will no longer feel the same panic about being late or behind. That anxiety belonged to an old season. Archangel Michael says, God has restored your trust in process. Have faith that what you need will come to you at the right time. Believe that you don't have to push doors open. Trust that being obedient will give you access. Today, discernment is more important than repetition for another locked place. It will be easier for you to spot cycles. Now, you'll know right away when something tries to repeat itself without a reason. This keeps you from going back to old habits. This safety measure was planned by God because you have learned enough from the past. No longer does repetition help us grow. Finally, getting clarity is also a blessing. Not all the time clear, but clear enough to know what to do next. Enough to know when to wait, enough to know when to move. It's important to remember what Archangel Michael says. God is not calling you to certainty. He is calling you to trust supported by discernment. Your future will not be built in confusion. You won't always have to struggle just because you remember this day. It means that struggle will no longer make you who you are. It won't change you. It will just go through you. A difference makes a difference. A lot of people go through hard times and come out angry. People who are blind go through hard times and learn from them. You are becoming smarter. Wisdom that waits to act before listening. The kind of wisdom that waits before speaking. Wisdom that trusts before getting scared. This knowledge will keep your relations, choices, and chances you haven't even met yet safe. Archangel Michael says that heaven would rather stop harm than fix it after the fact. Today was a day of mercy wrapped in prevention. Now listen carefully to this last instruction. Don't put this day down tomorrow. You can't talk yourself out of how important it is. Don't treat it like any other message. Honor it by being aware of your life. Alignment becomes a way of life when awareness becomes a habit. One last thing before the seal is complete. Spread this message. If you care about someone and believe in them, send this to them. They need to hear that God has marked their day. It's not just a video you share when you click share. The anointing that came with this word is being spread by you. You are giving someone else who needs it the breakthrough you got. Heaven sees you when you talk. The act of spiritual multiplication makes it possible. Do it right now. Share this word so it can get where it needs to go. Someone else might wake up because you did what you were told. Heaven wants one last act of agreement before this seal is finished. If you get this task done, type "I honor God's timing" in the comments. The blessing code 998 is now open and sealed over you. As we get ready to end this holy moment, I ask you one more time, if your heart is full, if you feel at peace with how things are now, and if you know that today something changed that can't be undone, then say one last thing to heaven as your last seal. Type Amen in the comments section below. Not a hasty amen, but a quiet, deep amen. As an amen, you say, so be it. This locks in everything you have received. You should write it down right now as your signature on this divine agreement. Beloved, as this appointed day comes to a close, I hear the Lord saying, "Those who help me preserve moments like these will never lose what I give them." This message wasn't made by accident. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go, through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life if you follow it. You won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate, early access to powerful content and divine insights, that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional, but your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step, your abundance awaits.